Hey there, welcome back. So I'm over at my parents today. We're working on my dad's GL1500, his 1995 Goldwing Trike. And today we're gonna work on putting on some new air springs. You've likely seen this before, but this is the 1995 Honda Goldwing GL1500 Trike. Here's the air springs that we're going to be installing today as well. They are the air spring assembly, part number BAGA-800-long. So these air springs are sold by Airbagit, purchased directly from them. All right, first step, we're going to need to jack up the trike and support the rear axle with some jack stands. Step is to remove the lug nuts. We're going to use a 3/4 inch socket for that. And then just remove that tire. Then we just repeat it on the other side. Hey, and by the way, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. It really helps the channel. All right, next we're going to work on removing these old air springs. First, we are going to remove the top air fitting from the top of the air spring. We're going to use a 7/16 wrench to do that. Okay, we're going to set that to the side. Then we're going to remove the top nut using an 1/16 socket. Okay. Then we're going to go ahead and remove the lower bolt. I'm going to use a 9/16 socket for that. Here's the old air spring. You can see where the air nozzle hooks up to it. That 1/16, and then the bottom one as well. Pretty worn out. So we'll do a quick comparison, new one versus the old one. The new one uses actually a larger bolt in the bottom, and it also has this metal base. Inside of here are some springs as well, so it's not just an air shock, but also air spring. Okay, so when you're putting this in here, you're likely going to have to collapse this down with your fingers a little bit. So you can get that in there. And once you got it in, you can get it in place. That should be right about there. Okay, so you can see it's a little bit collapsed. In the center, you got the bolt hole down there. And the one up here. It's not too hard to collapse, it's just a little bit awkward when you're under the bike like this. We're going to go ahead and start at the top, putting that 1/16 nut on. Okay. And on the bottom, this is actually a 3/4 inch bolt, so a little bit bigger than previous. And then we found another washer to go with it as well. Alright. Here's the 3/4 inch. Up the top, 1/16. pipe thread sealant on there. Make sure you line up those threads. Then you can use a 7/16 wrench to tighten that up. We actually did cut a zip tie up there in order to give us a little bit of slack in this airline. We'll go ahead and redo that zip tie here before the end. And for the other side, we just repeat. We're going to use that 7/16. Remove that air hose. Now we're going to use the inch and a 16th. Do that with the nut. The lower one, we're going to use a 9/16 inch. Move the whole thing out of there. We're gonna go ahead and squish this down here. Once we have it squished down, put it up in there, slide it into the bottom here, lining up that hole. Okay, I think we're there. Let's get started with that top one there. Okay. This bottom now, remember it's a larger bolt, larger socket, so we're at 3/4 on the bottom one. Head up to the top, using that inch and 1/16. Get that snug up there. Thread sealant to the side as well. It's a 7/16 wrench. Tighten that up, make sure you have your threads lined up. Okay. And then just make sure you replace those zip ties if you had to cut them off. We've turned the key on. Let's see what it is. Oh man, it is filling with air. Head to the other side, take a peek. Oh wow, it's filling up for sure. Okay. So we sat the tire on there. We just want to make sure, because these air springs are slightly larger, we wanted to make sure it didn't rub, and then when we look up in there, we have a lot of room, plenty of room, not even close to the tire. Okay, so the last thing we want to do, we just want to check this with some soapy water and a spray bottle, make sure we're not seeing any bubbles. Oop, I don't see any bubbles. Oop. That's great. All right, let's go on the other side. Checking the other side. see anything. Oh, this is great news. Yep. Lift it up just a little bit more. The jack stands out. Okay, coming down. And once it's down, we're going to go ahead and torque the wheels in a cross pattern. And we're going to torque ours to 80. I'm actually going to hold the brake while we're doing this. Check each one. Okay, we're there. And repeat on the other side. All right, thanks for sticking with us. We got on the new rear air springs. And if you haven't caught it yet, check out the video where we put on some rear shock absorbers as well. If you haven't liked and subscribed to my channel, please do. It really helps the channel. And if you have any comments, leave them down below. I do read every single comment and reply to them as I can. So again, thanks for joining. Check out my other videos.